All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Thomas Sandgaard. He is the CEO of Zynex. And Thomas, it's good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well, Steve. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well. Excited to learn a bit more about what's been going on with the company. I know you've had your financials out recently. We'll talk about sort of where you're at in that part of the business in a couple of minutes. But first, maybe just give everyone a bit of background on the company.
Yeah, Zynex is a medical device company. We make devices for pain management. We also make devices that are used in hospital monitoring devices. And we've been around for 28 years, been growing steadily. Just in 2016, we were like $13 million. We expect to be $200 million in revenue this year. And we expect to continue to grow at a rapid clip.
What's been driving all that growth? Is it the devices themselves? Is it the monitoring that you're sort of making that move into? What's sort of been driving everything?
So far, it's been the pain management business. And a lot of it is outside of having great products, and we know how to do insurance billing and have great customer service. What's really been driving it has been the expansion of the sales force and the increased productivity in the sales force as well. That's been the driving force. We have more than half the territories we have mapped out throughout the country populated with sales reps. And once we get all 800 territories filled, we expect to long-term hit approximately 800 million in annual revenue just in that division.
Yeah. Thomas, when you talk about pain management, are you talking about post-surgeries or are you talking about general pain management? Can you sort of update us on what that exactly means?
All of it. It's anything from low back pain to pain and expedited recovery right after orthopedic surgery, for instance. The biggest prescribing group we see is orthopedic surgeons, but it's nearly every specialty, from general practitioners to pain management specialists to podiatrists and even chiropractors occasionally prescribe these products.
Yeah. You mentioned a bit about your financial numbers, and you saw an 11% increase year over year in your most recent numbers. So obviously that growth that you've talked about in the last 28 years really seems to start to rev up, so to speak, over the last little while and then continuing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we expect next year to see another probably around 20% growth in revenue year over year. So we'll continue at least for a while at that clip. And a lot of it's thanks to our sales force and the relationships they've built with physicians, obviously, and how they continue to give us repeat prescriptions based on all the results they see with the patients.
Yeah. Talk to me about new products and new markets. Is that something that the company is really pushing towards? I know you're waiting for some approvals on a couple of new products as well.
That's right. Our monitoring division has 4 products underway, and one of them in particular is very interesting as it will fit into the world's biggest medical device market, which is pulse oximetry, and we'll have what you call a better mousetrap, a game changer in that space. It's based on laser instead of the old-fashioned LEDs, and what it does, it measures oxygen much more accurately, but it can also accurately pick up how much carbon monoxide there is in the blood, or methemoglobin, or even anything else in the blood. And
Yeah. And this can actually pick out sepsis as well. I mean, this is obviously for people, sepsis obviously can be a real challenge inside hospitals. So there's an opportunity here as well for that.
Yeah, sepsis is a huge problem. That is another product line that is a derivative of the blood volume monitor that we have already gotten FDA clearance for, but still collecting a lot of data. A derivative of that product will be used for early detection of sepsis, and there's 4 products that are very unique. 3 of them doesn't have an existing market, but the pulse oximeter has. So we expect as soon as we've finished this current clinical study and submit to the FDA in just a few months, we're hopeful that early next year we'll have clearance on that product. That's obviously a very exciting one because it'll just be blocking and tackling fighting for market share and being smart about our sales channels. The other three products obviously will go the more traditional route of developing key opinion leaders and eventually develop what becomes standard of care. Sometimes that could take over a decade, but it's nice to have all these products in the pipeline.
Absolutely. And lastly, Thomas, you mentioned so pushing out the sales force and new markets. What are sort of the key markets that you use for the company, and where do you see the biggest opportunity moving forward?
Well, we have two huge opportunities. One is obviously these monitoring products, with the pulse oximeter being the most immediate, but it should be a very straightforward rollout to get us to 800 million in annual revenue in the pain management division. We have a really good handle on the market, and just continuing to develop the sales force, add into the unpopulated territories, and just continuing to do more of the same. One exciting thing is that we're beginning to not be just a one product division here. Where the Next Wave is a fantastic product, but we now see more than 30% of all orders that come in are on other products at the Next Wave, and that continues to grow. Long term, that's important for us as we become a larger company, and making sure we have a more diverse product portfolio.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Thomas, thank you so much. Congratulations on the success. It sounds like the company's really in overdrive right now, and I really appreciate your time and sharing what's been going on and also the history of the company as well. So really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. We're just getting started. Thanks, Steve.
28 years in the making, so to speak.
There you go.
All right, there's Thomas Sandgaard. He is the CEO of Zynex.